The old mansion stood like a hulking beast on a hill, shrouded in mist and stories of terror. Locals whispered about eerie wails that echoed through the night, of shadows that danced with no source of light. Determined to uncover the truth, I resolved to spend 24 hours within its foreboding walls, armed with only a flashlight and a camera. As I crossed the threshold, a chill raced up my spine. The air was thick, suffused with decades of neglect and the scent of damp rot. Cobwebs hung like gauzy curtains, swaying in the draft of my passing. The floorboards creaked underfoot, each step a groaning protest of the mansion's age-old secrets. I set up my equipment in the foyer, the epicenter of supposed supernatural activity. The hours ticked by, the silence punctuated only by the occasional skittering of unseen creatures. Midnight approached, and that's when the atmosphere shifted. It was as if the house awakened with the witching hour. The temperature plummeted, each breath now visible in the frigid air. Suddenly, the old grandfather clock, which hadn't worked in decades, began to chime. Startled, I trained my flashlight on it, my heart pounding like a drum in my chest. That's when I saw it, a fleeting shadow darting down the hallway. Goosebumps prickled my skin as I followed the dark figure, flashlight beam bouncing wildly in my nervous grip. The shadow led me to a parlor filled with dusty, decaying furniture. An old portrait on the wall seemed to glare at me, its eyes following my every move. A sudden loud bang made me jump out of my skin. One of the chairs had toppled over. I caught my breath and decided to sit in the middle of the parlor, camera recording, waiting for the next supernatural event. Seconds stretched into minutes, minutes into hours, and still, the palpable sense of being watched never dissipated. Dawn's first light began to filter through the grimy windows, and the oppressive atmosphere began to lift. I'd been awake for 24 hours, surrounded by the mansion's spectral residents. As I packed my equipment and prepared to leave, I glanced back one last time. There, in the window of the upper floor, was a shadowy figure watching me. I quickly snapped a photo and hurried outside. Examining the picture later, I saw the face of a woman in period clothing, her eyes sad and searching. Whether she was a guardian of the mansion or a soul trapped by its walls, one thing was certain. I had spent 24 hours in a place where the line between the living and the dead was dangerously thin.